Good afternoon, evening, good morning, whatever it is, where you is listening to the one, the only, the original, the undefeated 4K for you. That's right. Welcome, kids. It is time once again for 4K for you. How you doing, Valliant?
Good to be back live at 5 on a Wednesday afternoon. And actually, I'm enjoying. I had Bullet Train on 4K here on in the background. So
I got that, but I haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
Nice.
Yeah, I loved it in the theater. I couldn't wait to see it again. I pre-ordered it, so glad it's here. Got here yesterday.
Cool. I need to see that myself too. Heard good things.
How's it look? It's a Sony picture, so I'd imagine it's 4K from beginning to end.
Yeah, I mean, as far it's a really pretty, and I've only had it on for like maybe 15-20 minutes. The transfer looks beautiful. I mean, it's as you would expect, because like you said, there was very little post-production VFX in this, so really no reason to do a lot of heavy down conversion for an intermediate or something. So yeah, I mean it looks pretty slick.
Yeah, and Sony's always been pretty good about doing true 4K from beginning to end, from what I've heard and seen. So yeah. I can't wait to check it out myself, but looks good. Looks like a Die Hard on a train kind of thing, mixed with a little bit of like, what would you call it? What's the hell's the movie I'm thinking of? Jesus, a little Tarantino-esque, but I'm trying to think of a specific movie too.
Well, I mean, you could take Guy Ritchie and Quentin Tarantino and slap them together, and you kind of got this movie. I mean, you got some Kill Bill. You have a lot of Snatch, Lock, Stock, and Two
John Wick was kind of what I think I was trying to think of, but something like that. But not that one. Nobody. That's the movie I was trying to think of. Nobody.
Yeah, this has got a lot more. It's got a lot more humorous elements to it because of the character that Brad Pitt plays, and it works. It really does. It's the right blend between the action and the crazy fight scenes with a nice little splash of comedy in the right moments. It really works great.
Yeah, it looks like something I might enjoy. Were you gonna say something there, Greg?
No, I agree with them. It looks like something I've been meaning to watch it myself. I've heard really good things. So
it's got to be better than Halloween Ends.
It's got to be.
That ain't nice.
You know what's sad is I was listening to RLM's interview today while I was doing stuff, or review, not interview, Jesus. And I'm like, God, I can't believe they liked this and hated Ghostbusters Afterlife. I guess that says everything you need to know about them. Yeah. Though they aren't wrong, because they were still saying a lot of the same shit we were saying on our review.
Right.
But in just the other direction. It was just like, I get where you guys are coming from, but this wasn't what anybody asked for.
No,
it wasn't.
No. I'm sorry. It just Halloween Ends was just not enjoyable at all. And I watched it the night it came out. I fell asleep watching it. I had to pick up watching it the next day. Mr. H started streaming again yesterday, and he invited me on in the morning. And he was like, I really wanted to talk to you about Halloween Ends because he knew I saw it. And I was going to go on the show at like 4:00, but got home an hour late. So many sick people in the house. And then by the time I got home, the Netflix thing was about to start. And I'm like, I got to go cover that. I got to cover the Netflix earnings report. And I missed it. But it's my first chance to really talk about it on a stream. But it was 90 minutes of just nothing happening, bringing in a pointless new character, this Coring idiot, that frankly was totally inconsequential at the end of the day to the movie, as far as I was concerned.
Exactly. Like, that's the worst part, maybe, is like, it wouldn't be so bad if they were building him up to be like, and spoilers, I guess, for a movie that's been out now for a while, and you can pretty readily see it. Like the thing is they were building him up to be a possible future prospect, or that'd be one thing, but like, yeah, they shot their wad right in this movie.
Yeah,
All
I
over
mean,
its face.
yeah.
I mean,
I didn't understand any of it, and Michael Myers was a cameo basically in his own film.
I
and it
know,
was just,
right?
It was so frustrating. It was just beyond.
That was my
frustrating.
reaction to Mr. H yesterday when he asked me. So he goes, "So what did you think of Halloween Ends?" I said, "Well, I really enjoyed Michael Myers' cameo."
Oh, I heard you say. Yeah, and it's true. That's exactly what
It was. It's true. And somebody put this out, and I put this on it too. It was somebody said Michael Myers has like what was it? I'm trying to find it real quick. Michael Myers had in Halloween 1978 has 9 minutes and 37 seconds of screen time, and in Halloween Ends he has 10 minutes and 55 seconds. Do with that information what you will. And I'm like, it's not about time. In the 1978 movie, Michael Myers makes such an impact on the film that his character literally feels like he's in every scene because he's the shape of evil. John Carpenter knew what he was
Literally
doing.
looming,
Exactly.
Yeah, he's literally looming everywhere. So you think Michael Myers is in the movie more. In this, Michael Myers isn't nothing. It's not Michael Myers. It's some old dude living in the sewer, gets beat up by a kid who gets bullied by band geeks.
That's it. It's
Well, they
the
run with
focus
that.
was on Corey, and I'm like, who the fuck is Corey? You know,
Well,
it's like,
I see now, going back through the RLM review, I can see now where this whole idea of, oh, we're commenting on the COVID thing came into this thing too. It's about this idea that evil can be transferred like a virus, right?
yeah.
Right.
And like they tried to explore that before, and that goes right back to my original point. This is basically the Thorn trilogy all over again.
It's true.
It really is, even though you just took out that element of it, so you just made it more cosmic. At least they tried to fucking explain it.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. I mean, maybe for better or worse, but still.
I'll take concepts that don't work for 1,000, Alex.
Hell yeah, try it again twice. And then you also have the element of the Rob Zombie side of it too, like I said, because it feels like that with this kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with seeing this kid kind of go down this path. At least in the Rob Zombie Halloween, you're like, oh yeah, I can see why this kid turned into a fucking psycho. He lives in Hillsboro. Like,
Yeah.
The fact that this
movie,
guy,
like, there's no reason for Corey outside of the fact that he, if anything, he has more of a reason to try to prove people he's not like that.
exactly, it's, and the fact that he's a 23-year-old man getting bullied by band geeks.
I know
they're not even like football players; they're legitimate band geeks.
I know. Honestly, I thought.
And to make it more
I laughed.
poignant,
I was laughing at that
if
because
they were doing that, Greg, and I'm sorry, Valiant, just to make my point here real quick. If they were going to do that with the kids, at least they could have been kids that were in his class and his friends or something.
Exactly.
Like to where it made sense where he wouldn't fight back necessarily because he feels fucking guilty, which would also play into the mom coming after him at the party.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, anyway, sorry, you were going to say Valiant. I
was just going to say the whole thing was weird. I mean, they even put the one kid in like to make him look more threatening. Oh, we're going to put him in a Letterman jacket, right?
Yeah.
Make you think he's a football player. No, he's the fucking tuba player or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
hey, they get jackets just like the football players, so
I know they do.
Fuck yeah, but I heard this letter played in that tuba chunk in the rock, by the way.
Yeah. No. I'm not. Yeah, no disrespect to the band people.
Yeah,
they deliberately they made it look like he was a football player, and then for no reason, just saying, "Oh no, these are band kids."
Yeah.
Like, wait, who is writing this?
Well, and that's the other thing. This is the first one to have 4 writers on it because originally it was David Green and what's his face from. I always forget his Daniel McBride.
McBride. I always think of him Kenny Powers.
So those 2 are still credited as writers, but there's 2 other new writers. And I'm like sitting here thinking the same thing that everybody else thought. Did they just repurpose some other fucking script here? I think that might be the case.
It's 2 movies in one.
The whole thing just felt weird. Like it just nothing went together, and I just don't know why. And the final film of this 40-year franchise, or the quote-unquote final film, right? Especially at least with the Laurie Strode character, that we spend most of the movie introducing a brand new character and spending an hour on this new character that has no impact on the story whatsoever.
More than that, but
it is nothing. It was like, oh.
I mean, if you remove that and make it its own thing, fine. And that's where I say I'm in agreement with those people who think that they basically Hellraisered this. And for those who don't know what I mean, back in the day, most of the Hellraiser sequels, outside of the last two and the newest one, were literally repurposed scripts where they just wrote the Cenobites into it.
Yeah.
They were just random horror scripts. So they're like, oh, that kind of fits with Hellraiser. We'll just throw Pinhead in.
But
here.
they were entertaining.
Some of them, yes.
Yeah. Or at least they tried to be. This movie was just boring.
And then they try to be clever, saying, look, we're using the Halloween 3 font. So this is like Halloween 3. And it's like, this ain't even close to Halloween 3.
I didn't see that or even realize that.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
They did. You can check the font. They use the same font.
I didn't notice. But yeah, now that you say that, I will probably. But I mean, I didn't hate it overall, but I didn't. Because like I said in the main review, I don't know if you heard this, Valliant, or not, because I think you had fallen asleep by this point. Like I said in the main review, I don't want to cut them down for trying something different, right? Because, I mean, they actually had the balls to go to that place that a lot of these franchises have alluded to, like Friday the 13th and Halloween themselves, where, like, you know, you're going to have a good character go bad and take on the mantle of Michael Myers or whatever it said killer in the movie. Because they set that up a couple times with Tommy, I won't say Tommy Doyle, Tommy Jarvis in Halloween, and you know they had that thing with Jamie at the end of 4 where they almost set her up to be the next Michael Myers, and then they backtracked on that. I'll give them that. I'll give them that they went to the full extent. They actually went through with it, but I think it should have been something that was more set up for a future possible sequel instead of it being the focus of this film. Right. Like you set up this idea that you kind of have him not be the hero of this film, but just be the boyfriend. But you also set up this future possibility that he could adopt the same traits if things don't.
Which I thought was kind of where they were going until they just wrecked it.
Yeah.
Well, and nothing kind of made sense in that respect, right? Like, because, of course, if something like that were to happen, there's people. Look, I'm going to tell you. I guarantee you there's people every day of their lives that you may know yourself. You may have a relative, a friend who may have accidentally killed somebody in a driving accident or something like that. I guarantee you they deal with that awkward moment when you're at a store and all of a sudden you just happen to see, because, you know, you probably didn't go to jail over it unless you were drunk off your ass or did something stupid.
Right. You
know, if there just happened to be just one of those things. And that's what this was just an accident. And the evidence probably supported that. And I think the kid even did do some jail time, probably for, you know, negligence or whatever, however you want to put it, or accidental homicide, but he clearly didn't do any hard time. You know, they kind of just skate over that aspect of it. But at the same time, I'm sure you're going to have those awkward moments, and I'm sure that's going to fuck with somebody, and that does. And you do have that. And I did like the idea of this journey of this kid kind of having the opposite journey of Michael Myers, right? Like, something happened to him, but it was an accident. It didn't just take him over. So that's the problem I had. It would have been different if just all of a sudden through the earlier part of the deal, the kid's being annoying as piss, and you can tell he's just, you know, holding it together. And then all of a sudden snaps.
Right.
And he makes it look like an accident and gets away with it. And then you have that just keep building. Or maybe it is an accident this time, but since he got away with it, it's kind of like you know, like they should have played it off a little differently. And then the same thing with moving down the line, because giving him a hen pecking mother and all that other shit gave me, you know, just kind of like the Rob Zombie-isms made me feel.
It felt like, which these movies all inspired each other. Like we talked about, Psycho inspired Halloween, Halloween inspired Scream. It felt like this was like the story of a Scream/Psycho serial killer from the serial killer point of view. Like the reverse hero's journey, like you said. So
that's really what it was, but they did it in a weird way, because they even have the dissension and all that stuff that they talked about in the RLM review. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but all that stuff they brought up, that's the same shit I brought up. Like I said that to that night. I don't know, Greg will remember. I said it's basically the reverse hero's journey. They even literally have him going into a cave setting and coming out a different person. That is part of the hero's journey. Usually you have them go through some sort of, like, usually it takes place in an underground cave, or they go to a literal hell or something like that, where they come out the other end and they're reborn as this new hero. Well, in this case, he's reborn as a killer. But like that was what I said. The only other interesting thing they could have done is just had it, because I kind of like that idea of, oh, Michael's been kind of just hiding out in the sewer for the last 4 years. Well, guess what? He could coast through town all through the town and nobody would see him. He'd be like a phantom.
Yeah.
Right. And you could have set up this idea for the last 4 years. People have seen glimpses of Michael. There's all these murders that, like they said, are blamed on him, even if it wasn't him. But yet you still set up this idea that he has been doing it. But then you kind of introduce this idea that people start blaming Corey for these murders when it's really Michael this whole time. And then you have this grand reveal at the end that, oh no, Michael is still here. He's just been underneath the city this whole time, you know, and that's when Jamie's got to go get him. Then you at least have a movie there. Because otherwise, like I said, Valiant, you just tack this last 20 minutes onto Halloween Kills. You got yourself your new trilogy right there with Halloween 178.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's kind of it. There was so much I felt that was unnecessary in this new flick. And I'll put it this way. And I think I said this on my Sunday show with Pro, because I had my Halloween movies here, and I'm like, look, I said I'm a big fan of this, long time. I have, and in my hand, I brought on screen. I said, here's Halloween 2018, 4K, physical media. Here's Halloween Kills, a movie that got a lot of flack, but I bought it because I still thought, even though it wasn't great, it was still entertaining for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not buying this third one. I am not buying this on physical media. I'm like, this is very weird for me not buying one like this, but I'm like, no. I can't.
I'm on the fence still, but
I'm right there with you,
not buying it.
Yeah, because I just don't care enough. I mean, like, if I never see this thing again, it's not going to ruin my life. It's
same. That's how I feel about it myself. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
I've
watched Halloween Kills a couple times.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of enjoyed that. And part of it was, I like kind of having the nostalgia of, all right, we got Anthony Michael Hall in there. Come on. It's great. How can you deny having the 80s, the ultimate 80s guy back?
Right.
And putting him in this movie.
Which is weird that they couldn't get the real Tommy Doyle back.
Well, I know, but I mean, I didn't like all the.
They said they couldn't find him, but yet they could find him for all the behind-the-scenes shit for the Halloween box set a few years ago. But anyway,
I don't get it. But I mean, there was elements. I don't know, all the constant evil dies tonight, evil. The whole mob thing was just that got real stupid. And I know they were trying to make some political commentary with that. But all in all, it was still a rather entertaining film, even though Michael Myers wasn't quite the babysitter killer in that movie, that he's supposed to be the babysitter killer and not the let's go kill a bunch of random people, which is funny because they even make the line in this last movie, Halloween Ends, about, you mean the babysitter killer? Yeah. And I kind of felt like, I was like, was that kind of like okay, we got it, fans, we got it, we heard you on the second one, kind of like.
Yeah, you're right, Valiant, because there was a lot of aspects of the second one that made me enjoy the 2018 one better. Or more, anyway, however you want to put my English. And I get it with the whole evil dies tonight shit and all that stuff. But to me, like, and I've said this before, but to me, that was like a callback to more so like Loomis. Like, you don't hear anybody bitching about Loomis saying the shit that how many times has he said, oh my God, the evil is gone. It's gone from here. He says that how many fucking he says the same kind of shit through all the movies, but we just accept it because it's Loomis.
Right.
So to me, it's just that's Loomis looming throughout the whole thing of just that mentality of,
and that was the other thing that made
tonight kind of shit. Yeah,
that was the other thing that made Halloween Kills for me, was the fact that everybody, like, on set, because they really thought about trying to figure out can we do some flashbacks with Loomis. And I don't know if everybody watched the behind the scenes on this with Halloween Kills, but
I didn't, but I saw some of the pictures of it.
Okay, so the guy that played Loomis, I mean, he really looks exactly like him.
He does.
I saw his picture, yeah.
He's like an electrician or a carpenter on the set that was working in the crew. And they're like, we got to just get this guy in here. And they barely did any post-production work. All they had to do was map the voice onto him. They had him in the makeup chair in the behind the scenes, and like, you just watch it and it's like, holy shit.
Well, and those are some of my favorite parts of when they go back to 78.
The flashbacks.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that made that movie so cool. There was just nothing about this last movie, like we've all said, except for maybe the last 20-30 minutes, that had anything that
and it would have been better in the last film. And you know what my suggestion would have been instead? Instead of having that mob scene, you don't have the mob scene, or you have them kick the shit out of him and then he gets away. Right. But he doesn't have like the massive murder bit. But as soon as Lori knows what happened to her daughter, you have the scene like they had where she leaves the hospital with the knife in her hand, knowing she's bruised and battered and probably won't survive this fight. But you also have Lindsay and Tommy survive and join her.
Yep.
So you have all of the survivors of Halloween night going and taking on Michael and taking him down. And you can have Laurie die in the process from her wounds.
They could have made a whole 90-minute movie with that. They could have done like the 24 series. They could have done it real time. You know, they could have done like a 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours of the chase, to where it was like an actual 2 hours or in real time or something like that. That would have been brilliant. That would have been fun. Just go right into it. But we had all this extra bloat, new characters and shit. Anyway, I don't want to rehash.
We went a lot longer than I thought we were going to talk about Halloween Ends, but there isn't a lot of titles this week, but there's some big ones.
Yeah.
So let's start with some of the newer announcements and rumors. What do you got for us, Greg?
Do you want me to cover some of the ones from last week that we missed?
Yeah, if there's a couple from last week we missed, and some of the lesser known stuff maybe, and then we'll hit the two big ones at the end. Yeah.
The Return of Swamp Thing is coming to 4K.
Yeah, that was a surprise announcement
on February 7th. So that's going to be cool. We are getting, what's that one movie? Nobody's Fool with his name just slipped.
I'm looking at Paul Newman. I think we did actually mention this one.
Did we mention that one last week on here? Paul Newman? All right.
It was a pretty good one. It's one I like because I remember saying it's not one I necessarily would be, 4K, but yeah. I did like the movie, but it doesn't scream it needs to be in 4K.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Adaptation starring Nicolas Cage and Meryl Streep and Chris Cooper is coming to 4K from Sony. That's an
interesting one,
on December 6th. Yeah. What's that? Al Pacino one. Serpico is coming to 4K, right? Yeah, 4K from Kino, I believe. No date on that yet.
Because I just bought the DVD.
So it's
or the Blu-ray, I mean.
We talked about Dr. Caligari, right? The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Yes. I think we got a little more info on it, but yes, other than that.
Yeah, it's 2023. It looks like 4K. But no date, just 2023.
I think I was reading this comes from like a German print that somebody found because as I was saying, this was one of those movies that was thought to be lost at the time, I believe, or at least most of it was. And so this is from a new German print, or not new, but a new print that was newly discovered. I know what I'm trying to fucking say.
It's true. It's true. Not to bring it back to it, but I kept thinking about Cabin Boy. These pipes are clean. Anyways, back on how that was for Halloween. I kept thinking about that every time. But anyway,
that one's one I'm kind of looking forward to. Now there's that other one that I forgot the actor that was in it, but he played the Phantom as well. Who the hell was it? The original, the makeup and stuff. Lon Chaney.
Are you talking about the Lon Chaney's dad?
Yeah, Lon Chaney was in another movie. I'm trying to remember what it was called now, but there's pictures and images out there of the makeup, but the movie has been like lost to time, where he's got like sharp teeth.
Oh yeah, I know.
What the hell's the name of it? Something London. I can't remember what the hell's it called.
Yeah, I know what movie you're talking about. I can't think of the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's one of those lost movies where they've lost all prints of it.
Well, that's probably why.
Or was it? Yeah, it was Chaney Senior. Yeah, it was Chaney Senior.
Yeah.
Tom English can't write. No, I can't. Was it The Wax House? Is that what it's called?
Might be. I think it might be.
God, I don't remember.
It's a lost movie. I know that. It's like they've lost all prints of it. All that exists anymore is just images. So, like, yeah. I'd like to find that one. But anyway, yes, continue.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that, but I couldn't find it. Unearthed Films is releasing The Grand Tour starring Jeff Daniels from 1991, which I talked about this. Nobody seems to know this movie, and I looked up the trailer, and it looks like a really good movie.
Yeah, it looks weird. Not to be confused with the TV show that people like, but
yeah. It's also known as Timescape or something like that too. So.
That's what you were, because you said that name to me, and I'm like, the plot sounds very familiar.
Yeah,
there's like something about it that
him and his daughter, the daughter from the original Jurassic Park, that plays his daughter. Yeah. They go to this like small town or whatever, and then like find out that people are time travelers, and somehow something happens, so he has to time travel back to save his daughter once he figures it all out. So it seemed like a really cool like sci-fi B movie type thing. So
London After Midnight, that's what I think it's called. Ben Dowdy is right. Yes, and then Channel Surf and Tina Beebe came in too. That's what it is. I knew it was something London. I couldn't think of it. Yeah. Oh, and then Channel Surf got it earlier too. But yes, thank you guys. I knew somebody would get it in the chat. We got such a smart chat. That's what I love. And Ariana Richards, that's the name of the girl. Who's also in Space Invaders. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good Halloween movie too.
Yes, that's a great Halloween movie.
Yes, it is. Speaking of horror movies, Pennywise, the story of It, is coming to Blu-ray.
I'm looking
on
forward to
November
this.
22nd. Huh?
I am looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to it. It's never before seen a video footage, everything from the making of the 1992 It. It's none of it's been seen since then. So, and it's got a new interview with Tim Curry and all the cast that from the original. So
yeah, there's not a lot out there about it, so I'm really looking forward to it, because when I did, if you go back and look on Midnight's Edge, if Andre still has it, he might have it unlisted, but you might still be able to find it. If not, when I reviewed it, he put it on the main channel, or maybe it's on After Dark. I'll have to look. But I did a retrospective for the first film because, it was on the main channel. I did a retrospective for the first film because he wouldn't let me just do a main review. So there is like a little, like close to 5, 6, 7, 8 minute little retrospective, and that's all the shit I could find. And I've got all the pictures and stuff I could find then. So I'm looking forward to this.
So is it, I haven't seen this one. Has it been did they remaster the TV show again on Blu-ray and then they're adding this to it? Or
this is behind the scenes fan made, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it was like a crowdfunded documentary.
So this is like in the line of the Ghostbuster one from like a couple of years back here. And, the old Nightmare on Elm Street one, Never Sleep Again, and Crystal Lake Memories, where they do a deep dive into the movie. And it doesn't usually have affiliation with the studio, so they can say whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
And you get the true story.
And it seems to be gotten really good reviews and stuff. I mean, new interviews.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I'm a fan of these kind of documentaries.
Me too.
I can't get enough of them. There was the Wolfman has Nards. That's another.
That is a great documentary.
There's a Back to the Future one, I think.
Yeah.
Is that about Monster Squad? I'm guessing.
Yes.
I mean, it's got to be. That's the only one that would be.
And then, of course, one of the more famous ones is "You're So Cool, Brewster," which wound up being part of the box set of Fright Night. So there you go. That one came full circle. But yeah.
Yeah. And that the Wolfman's Got Nards is really great, and it's even directed by Andre Gower, who was Sean in the original.
That Ghostbuster one is great. I feel sorry for them because they had the same problem we did, and that was. They released that at the same exact time almost we did ours, which was almost the same exact time that Netflix did theirs. And we thought we had a bunch of info that nobody had ever put out there. And we got accused of copying Netflix's. I'm like, dude, we released this like the same day or the day of or the day before. It was right around the same time. Like, there's no way we had enough time to watch that, copy that, edit this, do all that shit in that time. No, dude, I did all the research myself. In fact, I even said the book that I got majority of the information from, which is probably the same fucking book that the Netflix series got theirs from.
Probably,
yeah.
Outside of just straight up interviews.
Oh man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. MVD is releasing on January 24th of 2023, The Last American Virgin from 1982.
Yeah, I saw that today. And I'm like, oh, that's one, because we were talking about that not too long ago. I think it was you and I, Greg, or somebody else. I was talking about it.
Somebody, I remember it. I think it might have been me because I remember talking about it myself.
Yeah, because that's actually a Dino, or not De Laurentiis. It's Canon Films.
Yeah, Canon.
That's I'm trying to think of, but it's coming out with a. I like the cover look. Here, I'll bring it.
Yeah,
up.
It's got like the old VHS cover to it.
Yeah, kind of looking thing. And it actually is reminiscent of MGM's old covers.
Yep.
Like they used to have the silver all over there and all that.
See, why can't they do that? Like we get these new crappy covers, but just use that.
Yeah, I like that. Well, then this is the front of the slipcover. That's the back.
Yeah, so I mean, you get both.
Yeah. And it's not 4K, but it looks like they're giving it quite a few extras. And this was one of Canon's bigger hits here, believe it or not. And it was one of those movies that came out in the wake of Porky's, but was kind of American Pie before American Pie.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
It was. Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities in a sense. But yeah, it was just kind of a teen sex comedy, and it was kind of beloved.
Yep. And it was pretty cool that it gets a nice little Blu-ray like that. So, and speaking of MVD, their marquee collection on February 21st, 2023, Rain Man in 4K.
Yeah.
We'll see how that looks.
I knew this would be coming sooner or later because I gotta go.
I gotta go watch Wapner.
I almost thought you had to run for a second, like it was an emergency. You had to be ready for, like, oh shit, something's going on with your fam, yo. Like, you had me fucking genuinely worried.
Gotta watch Wapner at 4:30.
Definitely gotta watch Wapner. I'm definitely not wearing my underwear. And I've had this one in 4K digital for a while.
Yeah.
I love Rain Man. Rain Man is one of my favorites.
We'll see. It does say it's from the original camera negative and approved by Barry Levinstein, the director. So we'll see how that comes out.
I don't know. You don't know? I don't know. You're using him. I'm not using. Am I using you, Ray? Yes. He's answering a question from a half hour ago.
I like Joey's idea in the chat. Scratch and sniff VHS boxes.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. That'd be fun.
I'll get in line. Can we order like Britney Spears' greatest hits for that?
You can have some that smell like popcorn, some that smell like cotton candy. You know, just kind of.
She keeps posting naked pictures online. So
I see. I think she's a little.
Maybe she's
Instagram
an OnlyFans.
Oh,
maybe she's just getting OnlyFans.
She's been posting just straight up nudes. Like you can't see, like. You can see everything but that, like very specific spots. She's been putting up a lot of nudes lately.
Wow, that's weird. I would put that on an OnlyFans, like at this point in her career. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Scratches that smell like Cheetos and Marlboros.
Well, she might have the other parts you can't see on Instagram on OnlyFans. I don't know.
Spicy hot Cheetos, Greg.
Spicy hot Cheetos.
Right. Not just the regular shits.
I don't know why she just doesn't do it. I mean, I wouldn't pay for it. I'm sure somebody would leak it.
There's tons of people who would, though.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Give it away for free. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, she's completely naked. She is not wearing a stitch of anything. She just has certain body parts.
Playboy would pay her.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Still.
Well,
it's like
they still put women in it.
Yeah, that too, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But goddamn, like, what the fuck? But no, Rain Man, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully they get some new special features along with the classic ones. It's been on disc a few times. It's not like it hasn't gotten a lot of love. The 4K master that I have now looks decent. It might even be the same one. So
maybe, yeah.
And Barry recently, he had a few other movies come out too, so I'm not surprised. And I'm looking forward to this, and hopefully it's a decent transfer.
Yeah.
Considering it's coming to, this is a direct MGM release, right? No, this was some boutique company I've never heard of.
It's MVD. Same people the last American version. This is their first 4K release.
Oh, that's right. They were advertising they were going to be doing a big 4K release. This is it. Okay.
Yeah, I think they worked on the movie Drive.
Yeah, I think
not. It's that with that. What's his name? It's got the Kareem Hardison and I can't remember the other guy
or whatever.
Yeah,
is it Gosling?
No, it's not the Ryan Gosling one. It's he's an Asian guy. It's from the 1992.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But they worked on it. Was a 4K was released, but it wasn't. I mean, they released the Blu-ray, but the 4K scan and stuff came from I think 88 Films.
Gotcha.
But they did.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, they did it in associations with each other. This Rain Man will be their first official 4K from them.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see how that turns out.
Considering with the whole deal with MGM and Amazon, that is interesting. That MVD is taking that on. Because that's Lionsgate, isn't that does that, or who is that?
I'm not really sure who the MVD is.
Bless me.
Bless you.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Holy crap, dude! I think I saw that already, but
I don't know.
Pretty good for her age. Holy shit!
Oh, yeah, you just pulled
a few of them.
Yeah.
I did actually see that. I did see that earlier.
Yeah. That's not the first one either. She's doing more and more of these.
People have been asking about the Guyver as well. I think that's coming out on regular Blu-ray, but not 4K, right?
Unearthed, no, it's coming on 4K. Unearthed Films, which is a subsidiary of MVD. They were originally doing a Blu-ray version of Guyver, the R-rated version, but apparently, I guess the scan was so good, they're just going to put it on 4K. So it's going to be a 4K version of it.
Oh, there you go. Because isn't that one they couldn't find the negative for or something like that?
I don't know. I think they found the negative is why it's going to 4K.
Cool. And I know a lot of people love Guyver 2. I haven't heard anything about Guyver 2 yet either.
No, I would prefer Guyver 2. I think it's a better movie, but it's just cheesier and funner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else you got for us?
Thunderfoot, and I can't say it. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot from 1974 with Clint Eastwood is coming to 4K from Kino Lorber. No release date yet on that, but they released the cover.
That
and
is
everything.
Dirty Harry meets One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Lethal Weapon before Lethal Weapon.
Yep. Jeff Bridges, Clint Eastwood, pretty good movie.
You guys ever seen it? Oh, you seen it, Greg?
Yeah, I actually own
the ending is fucking sad, but yeah,
it is. Yeah, that's one of those old movies like that, man. Sometimes they had some really sad endings, man. It was like, oh,
it almost feels like it's for no good reason, but yet it's
exactly,
somewhat earned. But like, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
You ever seen that one, Valiant? That's one of.
I'm trying to remember it.
Eastwood's lesser known ones, and it was one of.
I don't think so.
It was one of what's his face's first ones. You just said his damn name.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
He plays like a hippie in it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's basically like Dirty Harry gets stuck with a hippie for a fucking
partner.
Is really what it is.
Huh.
And it's not bad.
It's like Lethal Weapon before Lethal Weapon, but it has like that 70s dark kind of bend to it. Yeah.
Yeah. 70s, man. They always made you depressed at the end, but there was always good movies.
Well, this movie's too cheery. We gotta put a
here's one to cheer you up. Coming to 4K from Sony. My Best Friend's Wedding, starring Julia Roberts and
an oddball. Oddball. Because I don't know too many women who are into 4K.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird, but I would thought Pretty Women, but that's Disney, and they'll never do that.
For some testing grounds, but I mean, I know Dirty Dancing did well, so maybe.
I don't know. At Sony, they must think it's going to sell. So
look, I'm not trying to be sexist, but not a lot of women give that much of a shit about this kind of stuff. Look, I get it. I know we have a few women in the chat, but not many, and I'm not upset about that. It's just one of those things, but I'm also not trying to be sexist at the same time, so just keep that in mind. I don't know too many women who give a crap about the quality of film. They just want to watch something.
That's true, and it kind of leads into this next one that's rumored: Sleepless in Seattle in 4K coming in.
That one makes a little bit more sense because that's a Carl Reiner movie.
Yeah, and
I am under the impression that these directors are going in and they're scanning all their films at the same time, because it always seems like we just keep getting in succession the same directors.
You get them in batches.
Yeah,
or
at least a batch at a time. Because Rob Reiner, he's got a few of them that are on 4K. Get us fucking Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Fat Bottom Girl.
4K, the 4-hour cut, no less. That'd be awesome.
Give us Spinal Tap and get off Twitter, please, Rob.
Yes, quit being a meathead. Did I tell you guys I have the 4.5-hour cut of Spinal Tap?
No, I don't think you ever have.
It's shitty quality, but yeah.
That would be nice to have a good quality of that.
Oh, God. Well, there's like an hour of that footage that's already on the Blu-ray, but believe me, there's more. You got to remember that movie's not even 90 minutes long, and this cut is 4.5 hours. It's like
be interesting,
indulgent cut, and I don't even think it has some of the Marty DeBurgi shit in it too. That's the funny part. So like there's other stuff that is in the theatrical cut that's not in this. Like I mean, he's in it, but like the intro isn't the same. The intro just starts out like with all the music and stuff, and a bunch more people talking about Spinal Tap, like a lot more, and then like it gets into the song, and it doesn't have the Marty DeBurgi opening and all that shit. So like it's different, but otherwise there's tons of good shit in there. You're like, God, why didn't they leave this in the film? Well, because it would have been 3 hours long. That's why. But no, there's some funny shit. Like they go to the zoo and some other things in one bit, and they're like at the monkey cage and they're talking about the monkey, and they're like, monkeys, they can't speak, but they can form words. Yes. They can say a few things like hello, how are you? Well, they can't say that much, but they can insinuate it. And like, they're one of the few bread making species. And then, well, yes, they do like soup. just random shit. It's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's funny.
You ever seen Spinal Tap, Valiant?
Long time ago, but yeah, I know.
Oh,
What
yeah.
it's
You
probably
know,
been probably been well, maybe not 20, but
you know
probably
what it is,
20
though,
years
at least, so you're
since I
not
watched
like
Yeah.
completely
it.
oblivious. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen Mighty Wind from Christopher Guest?
Oh, I
Yes,
love Mighty
yes,
Wind.
Yes, the Spinal Tap them as those characters in that are freaking hilarious.
What I also love is the return of Spinal Tap, which was a TV special, because to play on the whole Stonehenge bit in the return of Spinal Tap, the Stonehenge is too big to get on stage. They can't fit it through the door.
That's
So
cool.
they have the opposite problem.
Wasn't Harry Shearer was in Spinal Tap.
They're all
right?
SNL guys, basically, originally.
Yeah.
They're kind of like Blues Brothers 2.0 in a weird way, but most
Yeah.
people don't remember. See, Christopher Guest was such a chameleon. People don't even remember him from Saturday Night Live because he just would blend into roles. And then, Michael McKean happened to be on Saturday Night Live around that time, and so was Harry Shearer.
Harry Shearer was in that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Fellow New Orleanian Harry Shearer.
I think he was doing the news updates. Did he do the news updates or something else at that time? But he was doing bit pair. He was more of, I don't know if he was ever a main star. I think he might have just been an appearance, with, when they do the with after all the main star. I can't remember now, but it was in that era. They were all, and because Spinal Tap did an appearance on SNL first, from my recollection.
I think so, yeah. So that speaking of Christopher Guest, it took me forever to realize that he was a six-fingered man in Princess Bride.
I know, because he's such a chameleon.
Yeah.
Christopher Guest is one of the most undersung fucking actors, or should I say, Mr. Jamie Lee Curtis is one of the most undersung actors that you've never recognized, even though you've seen him in a million fucking things.
Yeah,
he's Nigel Tufnell.
Yeah. And he's a brilliant screenwriter, brilliant director. Oh
God,
yes.
Brilliant comedian. He's just one of those guys that he never makes a huge mega hit movie, but the movies he does make
Best in Show is probably even better.
Oh my God, Best in Show is amazing. It's some of the most rewatchable, brilliant comedy.
You got so many nuts.
Oh my
God. Pine nuts, walnuts. Ashley nuts.
And he's got that same great cast that always shows up for every movie. You got Eugene Levy that's always there. Catherine O'Hara.
Most of the same Spinal Tap cast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it was so fun to see him as folk artist in The Mighty Wind.
God, was that funny.
Well, that one actually managed to be both enduring and funny. Right, because you have the love story going on between Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, who they have just fucking great goddamn chemistry.
They do.
I mean, especially in Best in Show, their whole thing in there too. Like that's the thing, and that's why the Christopher is smart to key in on those guys.
Well, why do you think they have one of the most popular shows on television together now?
Yeah, look at that.
Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean if you've not looked, like we all talk about the Nielsen streaming charts for certain shows. Schitt's Creek, it like mauls it when it comes to like the acquired content and what people are watching and streaming, especially both linear broadcast. Schitt's Creek is a huge show.
That's one that's on my list to get into. I never have yet, but that's the reason why. And those guys, I love all their films. Even For Your Consideration wasn't that bad, even though that was a little bit different. Same cast, but and then they added people like Parker Posey, who I adore and think is hilarious.
She is awesome.
And they were always good at finding people. And of course, sadly, we lost what's his face? Jesus Christ, Fred Willard, who was always a staple, even since Spinal Tap, because he was in the original Spinal Tap.
Did you ever see Parker Posey in House of Yes?
I don't think so.
Oh, I think I've seen that movie. Is that where she is with her brother?
Yes.
I've seen that.
She believes she's really Jackie O, and he's
that movie's crazy.
That is nuts. But I'm gonna tell you what, that is one of Parker Posey's most just brilliant, fucked up performances. She's so good in it.
She's great.
She freaks you the hell out.
Well, I loved her. We were talking about this the other night because of the Scream stream. I'm like, that was to say, she's like my favorite character in Scream.
She is funny in Scream.
She's the best. Really hilarious. Whoever wants to kill you really wants to kill me. Really wants to kill you. So I figure as long as I'm with you, they'll really kill you. and I'm safe.
And thank you, Maybe Human in the chat. I was thinking that exact same joke before you typed it. I was going to almost say it.
Oh, is that from that? Okay.
And thank you for being here. Please make sure you've hit that
Ed
like
Begley
button if
is
you
another
have
one, yeah.
not already. We got 126 people watching. We just have under 70 likes. Let's push it to over 100. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much. Let's get into some super chats and then we'll get into the final announcements here because we got some special ones coming up. Mexican Iron Man's in the house. Hey, Mikey, if you're still listening, he sent us in a pair character jumping up and down saying #1 fan, and he is not only our #1 fan, he's a member and also a CEO of sorts, or some sort of executive. Primarch Vulcan says, any possibility of a Steelbook or UHD version of 1963 Ray Harryhausen classic Jason and the Argonauts? That one would be great, but I haven't heard anything recently or anything like. I mean, they're on Blu-ray, but no, I haven't heard anything about them anytime soon. But I wonder how well they would even look on 4K because you have a lot of processing involved with all the what did he call it? He didn't call it Go Motion. He called it stop motion, right? Yeah, stop motion.
Stop motion animation. Yeah.
Go Motion was what's his face? It's from Star Wars. But no, I'd be cool to see what they'll look like. I'd have to see. See, that's the thing. Because there's a couple movies, one that I might talk about here when we're done with the other stuff that you kind of get to a point where you wonder, is it even really worth putting the effort in? This might be, especially if it has some good prints. I don't know if he did a lot of those effect shots in 70mm. If that's the case, then yeah, definitely. But otherwise, Blu-ray is going to look not much worse than, or 4K is not going to look much better than in some cases because of the degradation of quality because of the opticals and stuff. But I don't know. I'd have to see the film. I don't know what kind of. It all depends on what they have to work with. I think that's the best answer, probably, right, Valiant?
Oh, no, absolutely. How good is your source material? Or I should say, what is the condition of your source material?
Because as much as I love 4K, like, I'll just bring it up now. Like, I got Trancers in 4K. Fucker's $40.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I see what Greg was telling me. Serial at Midnight was talking about how it doesn't look any better than the Blu-ray. Something with the scan.
Probably.
There's something with the scan. Yeah. It's got some
like
noise to
colors
it.
And
it might be not be. I don't know if it's from the negative either. That's part of the problem. It looks like a second or third or more generation. And it looks like it doesn't look like it's had DNR applied to it necessarily, but it's had something done to it. And I wouldn't necessarily call it an upconvert either. So I'm just curious to see what Puppet Master 3 looks like. And if that one looks the same, then I'm not going to get any more full moon 4Ks.
Yeah.
Because their Blu-rays actually generally are pretty good.
Yeah.
But Serial Midnight is correct. They do vary depending on their sources.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I was not impressed by the look of it. Unless there's a bunch more special features on this that are not on the Blu-ray, then I can't recommend it. Or if you don't already have the Blu-ray. But I think the Blu-ray is cheap enough.
Yeah.
And you can also, I think, isn't that one that you can get in that deal that you were talking about?
I got the first 3 transfers in that deal. You go for a year of full moon streaming. You get either the Puppet Master 12 box set Blu-rays free, or you get 10 Blu-rays or DVDs free. So it's a really great deal. Yeah. And now, if you're a fan of what's her name? Darcy from the Joe Bob Briggs Last Drive-In Show. She has a special box set where you can get that now. It's called the Sexy 6-Pack. It's 6 films she thinks are the sexiest. Basically, a bunch of booby flicks. And she signed each box. It's over 1,000. She signed each box, and it's once them are gone. You don't get those anymore. Gotcha. But you can still do the Puppet Master and the Blu-ray stuff. So.
No, that's my only thing yet is I'm thinking about doing it, but I've already got so many. I don't know if they'll have anything left that I don't already either have, or there'll be 10 of them that I don't have already, because I already have the big box set of the Puppet Masters in the actual box, the wooden box that opens up like I'm gonna bring it onto the physical media show one of these days.
There you go.
And I had a bunch already, just ones that I've bought, and then Chris Gore, bless him, sent me a bunch of Blu-rays. And a bunch of them were full moon feature ones.
You got lucky, man.
He's like, I got so many of these, man.
Tell him to send me some. I love full
I'm
moon
sure
features.
eventually, if he gets to know you, he will. He's such a great guy. He sent me a film threat, like not a beer stein, but a beer glass or whatever you call it.
Oh, that's cool.
And some other goodies in there. I was so tickled to get that. That was awesome. But yeah, that would be a cool one, Primarch Vulcan. I agree with you, though. Then we got Cannon Fella Daryl, if I could speak tonight. I've been having that problem all day. He gives us a thumbs up. You could give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. We'd appreciate that. I see there's only 81 likes and over 130 of you watching. So that means almost half of you have not hit the button yet. So please do.
Smash it.
Or at least you haven't hit the like side of it anyway. And yeah. And then we've got one more here, and then we're going to get into the main two titles. I think that's all that's left anyway, outside of maybe a few stragglers. Wolf Squad says, what 4K player do you guys recommend? Well, you're in the UK, it looks like, from that €2. So I'm not sure over there if you guys have some brands and other options that we don't have here, but the best of the ones over here generally tend to be Panasonic or Sony, because Oppo used to be the best, but they don't make players anymore. Valliant, any recommendations on your behalf?
Sorry, I had to step out for 2 seconds. Recommendations on which ones?
4K players. I said around here, Panasonic or Pioneer. I should have said not Panasonic.
Well,
Pioneer and Sony, and Panasonic does.
Panasonic has. I mean, honestly, I think they still make some of the best optical players out there because they use some of the highest quality digital to analog converters, both for video and audio, still in there, and they have some really, really well-built chassis. The Sonys are very good. I'm not knocking them, but the Panasonics are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't have to spend an arm and a leg. You don't have to spend $1,000. I mean, they make some $1,000 players, but the $250 Panasonic player for 4K and everything is very, very, very nice. And I think they have one that's maybe sub 200 as well. But
I apologize. I always get Pioneer and Panasonic for some reason. Always get them crossed over.
Well, Pioneer's been trying to come back, Joey. Yeah. I mean, they've been trying to squirrel their back in there, and I hope they do, because look, Pioneer made absolutely some of the best optical players. Best Laserdisc player that was ever made that wasn't like $10,000 was a $2,000, $2,500 Pioneer Elite CLD 99. I still have one. I mean, I bought it way after they went out. I picked it up on the used market, did a little bit of restoration on it, and it's still what I use to play my 300 copy Laserdisc library, which I don't use that much anymore because so many of those films have now been upgraded to a true 4K. But I mean, look, I mean, they made some of the best TVs, the best Laserdisc units for sure. So
the only thing, Wolf Squad, with you being in the UK, I don't know if, like, see, some of those name brands we say here, they could very well be owned by some other company over there, and they just throw in whatever and just slap that name on it for all I know.
Panasonic should, I mean, if you're in the UK, Panasonic should be the same.
But yeah, I don't want to say that without actually knowing. So honestly, if for those who are listening to this, if you're in the UK and you have any recommendations for Wolf Squad, go ahead and throw them in the comments just in case, because I don't know if there could even be a company over there that we don't know about.
There may be. I was just going to say, I mean, as far as Panasonic goes, I mean, I know factually that their cameras, their entire camera line, which I know a little bit better than whatever they're currently offering on 4K players, those are the same everywhere. I know they're the exact same thing in the European market, in the UK. All of their cameras, they even come down, I think, to the same model number. So their players are they should be the same.
I have a LG that's not too bad too. So I mean,
LG's got good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, there's a lot of players out there. Like, I like my Sony because the upconvert is real nice.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I do have issues from time to time, and for some reason it has this glitch, and it could just be mine. Where for once in a while, the Dolby Vision doesn't want to work right, and I have to reset my entire player for some reason to get it to work right, and I don't know why, but I thought one time it was just a wacky update, but it just does it randomly once in a while for some reason.
Yeah. I found the player. Here it is. It's the Panasonic. Now, this is the US model number. Now, the model number might be slightly different in the UK, but it's the Panasonic DPU B420. So if you look up Panasonic 4K player 420, it's $197.
That's not too bad for a 4K player.
No, I mean it's not certainly not the cheapest one out there. It's certainly not the most. I mean, Panasonic has 4K players that are over $1,000, but I'm gonna tell you what, bang for your buck. I mean, short of you going out and buying, like if you go, I'm gonna get a PS5. Well, then just use your PS5 or the Xbox.
I was gonna say actually, I'd recommend the Xbox, the old Xbox, the one before the newest one, because they're one of the cheaper, better players.
And they played 4K discs.
Yeah.
The
Xbox One. The Xbox One.
Okay.
It might have to be the Xbox One S or whatever it is, but like.
Well, my point is, if you're buying like a new game system soon like that, well, then just do that. But I mean,
for instance, that was my first 4K player, and I got it on a Black Friday deal for like $70. So I basically got a 4K player for like $70. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if you can find a deal on the Xbox One that for that much, I'd say go for it.
Yeah. Now, if I had to replace one of my Uppos right now, like if my Uppo 203 went down and they don't make players anymore, which really sucks, and I didn't feel like spending, a ton of money to replace it because they went wild on eBay after they closed the prices, I'd buy that Panasonic. I'd buy that $200 Panasonic all day long and be very happy. And
I can't recommend Samsung.
No, I do not like their optical players. They make some fine television sets. Their optical players they're just shit. I hate to say it. I do not like them at all.
So do some research. Otherwise, is what I would do. Since you're in the UK, unfortunately, we can't give you the bestest answer in the world, but I would go with that. Yeah, because I think if I ever get another one, it would probably be a Panasonic. The Waltman says we got new Silent Hill movie announced and new Silent Hill game co-developed with Bad Robot Games. I saw that. And that's what Bad Robot wants. They want franchises they can control each and every bit of. That, unfortunately, is not, or fortunately, one way or the other, however you look at it, it's not what we really get into here on 4K for you. So we're going to move back into the topic at hand. And thank you for that, Waltman, just the same. And we've got a couple more announcements. Now, last week we had a bucket list announcement. I think we did talk about that one. So we might as well get that one just in case. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, 4, and 5, if anybody gives a shit.
Yeah. Yep, Silent Night. When was that? I totally forgot when that was coming out.
I don't know if you brought that up last week or not. But that was what Space's bucket list movie, evidently.
Yeah, it's coming December 13th of this year, Lionsgate. He even touted like there was like some of the most special features he'd done in.
What's his name again? Christ, it's a guy who runs Red Shirt. Michael Felcher.
Michael Felcher. Yeah, he touted like there was like the most special features done forever. And I was looking at special features. It's really not that many. What the one thing they do have that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 doesn't have, they have an interview with Bill Moseley. So, yeah.
But no, and considering that he's worked on everything from like that Halloween box set and some other ones, I'm like,
yeah, that's your bucket list
build up for nada.
Plus, we sort of knew it was coming already, like a month ago. So it was just the way it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then King Kong Lives is coming from Umbrella sometime in next year, I believe. So that's a nice Blu-ray coming down the line. And I think that was about it, other than the last two big titles we got set for here. The Exorcist and Trading Places, which Trading Places coming to 4K sometime in 2023, the new year, for January, February. So that'll be interesting. I like that movie. That's a great movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely fantastic movie.
Yeah, it's one of Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd's best, and Jamie. This all circles back to Jamie Lee Curtis and Blumhouse and Halloween ends because like even with The Exorcist, they're going to do sequels to that movie from the same team that did Halloween's, which is I shudder to think what they're going to do with that. And then Jamie Lee Curtis is in Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, and that's just a great movie though with John Landis. I gotta ask, do you think it's a Christmas movie? Because I've had this debate before. I believe it's a Christmas movie.
So not in the same way Die Hard is.
No, I mean, it is a Christmas or New Year's movie. I usually watch it around that time, and that's when I remember the television debut was in like 1987 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I tend to watch it at the end of December to begin. So I feel like it's always
one of those. If I don't watch it before Christmas, I can still watch it after Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. So I saw that's how I relate it to as like a Christmas movie, because it's not like it's not like Die Hard or something like that, but I feel like that's when I usually watch it. It's like tail end of December, near the beginning of January, so it still feels like a sort of Christmassy type thing to me.
Well, this is a good question from Stanley, because for those who may not know, the Trading Places Blu-ray that just came out last year. Now, if you just had or 2 years ago, not even more recent release, it is from the same 4K master, because they remastered it then, but they just released it on regular Blu-ray. Because I bought it digitally in 4K, because this was released at the same time as Coming to America 4K. For some reason, they didn't do they released 48 hours, another 48 hours in Trading Places. So I knew Trading Places was probably coming in 4K once we got 48 hours and another 48 hours announced.
Yeah.
But this is just your typical Paramount double, quadruple, whatever doing.
Was this Paramount Presents?
Yes.
Was I was gonna say I have the Blu-ray.
If you have the older Blu-ray, then it's probably worth the upgrade.
Yeah, I have the older Blu-ray.
As far as if you have the Paramount Presents one.
See, the Paramount Presents, sometimes I hear about them, sometimes I don't. So it's hard to figure out which ones are which.
And honestly, I will say this. I'm really looking forward to 48 hours in 4K, because I compared, just out of curiosity, when they announced the 4K of 48 hours, I'm like, well, I mean, I've got the Blu-ray that's from the 4K master, and I've got the digital version in 4K, and I know that's not as good as a 4K, but I've seen some 2K Blu-rays from 4K masters that look pretty damn good. And I've got a system on my Sony where it'll actually add a fake or whatever kind of Dolby Vision to it, the picture.
Right.
And in some of them I've compared, and there's very little difference in some of them. Like, I mean, really, really, and you know me, I'm a stickler. So, and I checked, and the digital version of 48 hours looked that much better than the Blu-ray that I'm like, oh yeah, I think these 4Ks are going to be worth it. Because even though that Blu-ray looks pretty decent for the 48 hours one, just the digital version looked that much better. So I got to imagine that the 4K Blu-ray is going to look even better. So even though they do a lot of double dipping and shit, sometimes they do a pretty good job with their 4Ks, but that's a big sometimes, because they fucked up bad on Friday the 13th.
Got a thing here. Oh my God, this looks so stupid.
What?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It just popped up. Coming to Blu-ray and DVD November 15th, R.I.P.D. 2, Rise of the Damned.
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
Starring the guy from, what's that TV show with Bruce Campbell where they were spies?
Oh,
Blacklist? Or
no.
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice.
The guy from Burn Notice and some chick I've never seen before taking over for Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges. Oh, that looks like it's going to be a crap fire.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's sad. It looks like it's straight to DVD Blu-ray sequel. So, yeah. But anyways, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut. I was scrolling to make sure I got everything, and then I saw that, and I was like, what? But go wherever. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. But that's just that's just crazy. But I'm looking forward to Trading Places in 4K. That'd be a good one.
I think it will. I mean, look, it's a lot of those kind of films that obviously kind of, when you see all the other movies around them getting that treatment, you know, it's coming at some point relatively soon. So here we are.
Yep.
So.
And then we got The Exorcist and that's coming. I don't know if I saw the date on that one yet.
I don't know if Warner's officially announced it for the US. It's got a UK date so far.
Yeah, it's got a big
much like the other recent 4K Warner titles. I'm imagining it'll be the same.
Yeah, no, I don't think it has. It's like 2023. I can't remember the date, but it's coming from the Cinema Museum is giving a big set of it too, and stuff. So yeah, it'll be coming in probably about the 50th
anniversary, and that's what I figured. And it's due, and it's one that's been on my list. Because that's one of my favorites, and I'm like, this needs a 4K. Like, I can't believe we haven't got one yet. But then knowing that the 50th anniversary was right around the road, I'm like, you know what? I got a good gut feeling that it'll probably come out next year, and I was right.
There you go. And always spot on. Tom needs to have that ready to go.
I'll do the whole Karnak thing. I'll just hold a card up to my head and just name off titles, and it'll be like 4K movies coming in the next 6 months.
You need that from the Quentin Tarantino Western. That guy, Walter. I can never remember the name.
Oh, I already got it.
You need that all the time.
I have it all the time. Actually, it's right here. Where'd it go? There it is.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
I always have that.
Walter Goggins, yeah.
Yeah, Walton Goggins. And wow, Steph's watching The Exorcist right now. That's almost like too eerie. But you probably knew that from the thumbnail anyway. No, I'm looking forward to this one. I don't know if you guys are big fans or not, but The Exorcist to me is one of those movies. It's to me the godfather of horror films. It's just
wait till David Gordon Green gets his hands on the rest of it.
No! What the fuck? Ellen Bernstein for a trilogy?
Not even Reagan, man. We're not even getting Reagan.
I don't understand. Never mind. I don't even want to go there. I didn't want to do it. I already got pissed off enough with Halloween, and I'm not doing this. Not two on the same night.
Yeah.
I'm happy this week. Like I said, I've got Bullet Train. It looks great. I got my Police Story 4K trilogy. It looks friggin' awesome.
I got that, but I haven't got a chance to check it out yet.
Oh my god, I could not believe it. And it's cool that they left like the original. They didn't touch it. The original mono track. And then you can flip a button and go over to the DTS.
Well, which version did you get? I got an import version from.
That's what I have.
Okay.
I had to order it from Amazon UK.
Yep. Well, I saw that somebody's releasing them in the US, but I can't remember who's doing it here.
It's it's the same. It's the same one.
Yeah.
It's just that but I mean, I picked it up on
88
Amazon.
Films. Is that who it is?
I don't know.
Possibly.
Wait, who's releasing it here?
But you said it's the same people.
Well, I think it's probably the same scan.
Oh, that.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a Eureka set that I have.
Yeah. Oh, Eureka. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if they're doing it, and this was in the UK, so probably the same. But I mean, yeah.
Oh, 88 Films is releasing Super Cop here, then probably. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, it looks great. It looks. I mean, it's.
Or that would be UK too, wouldn't it?
It looks far better than any other rendition copy of this of the film I've ever seen. I've only watched the first one, which looks amazing. So I can't wait till I get to actual Super Cop, which is Police Story 3, because the first one was like 1984 or whatever it was, and the last one was about 1990. So by then, bigger budget, better film stock. So I'm expecting to see. I mean, as good as the first one looks, the third one might look even crazier.
I see they got both cuts on there too, the international and US cuts.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's a really nice set. It really is. I think it was. I want to say I paid around $70 for it. I don't
think it was that much, was it?
Maybe it was 60. I don't remember.
I remember it being fairly decently priced, considering the thing that kills me about getting movies from UK is the you're paying like $15 shipping no matter what.
Yeah, and I mean you have the foreign currency exchange rates, and it took 2 or 3 weeks from the time I ordered it for it to get here. But I mean, look, it's fine. And it's the book that it comes with all the behind the scenes photos and everything. It's like a 100-page little book in there with it.
I haven't cracked it open yet.
It's great. It's a really nice. It's the perfect kind of set that I would want to have for a series of films that I really, really liked.
Yeah, I can't wait to check it out myself. But I'm trying to get through some Halloween-y stuff, and a lot of times I'll just throw in a disc just to check and see how it looks for the first few scenes, skim through it a little bit, like I did with Return of the Living Dead. Looks like you guys are all talking about it here, and I think you got your Return of the Living Dead too, Greg.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. I watched it. I think it looks great. So I was happy to have it. So
that's a more recent scan though too, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And they re-scanned it because I checked against the old one. I'm like, wait, did they scan it again, or was the last one a 4K? No, they had to redo it because that one said it was from a 2K scan. So this is a new scan.
Brand new for it. It looks beautiful. So
there was one movie you missed in between there though. Did you mention Baron Munchausen?
Oh no, I did not. I did have that on there, but I did not mention it. So
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, the Terry Gilliam film, is coming. I think is that a Criterion or an Arrow? Criterion. Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to run here, guys. I got to go take care of some.
No worries. Actually, we're gonna be starting to wrap up anyway. So thank you, Valliant, for being here, and we appreciate it, man. So
thanks for having me. Had a blast, and I mean, until next time, we'll see what's next week. We'll probably bring some more stuff, and just go out there, everybody, and find the films that you love. enjoy them on physical media. Enjoy them on 4K. Enjoy them, looking better than they ever have than you're going to find in most places. So that's why we do the show.
Yeah.
100%. All right, man. Take care of yourself.
Take care.
See you, Valiant.
Later. All right. And with that, was there any other announcements we missed? I don't think so. I think we got them all.
No, I think that was about it. Yeah.
All right. And you guys, we got some super chats already, and we grabbed as many questions as we could. But we're going to have to wrap this up because I know you got some kiddos to deal with and stuff like that. And we've got physical media coming up here in what?
About an hour.
An hour almost. Yeah, just over an hour. I mean.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll see you guys on physical media, hopefully. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Anything else to plug besides that, Greg?
Check out my Halloween memories video I did.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a big video. I was pretty happy with that. So if you guys go check that out, that'd be cool. But other than that,
we did something together. When does that come out?
Oh yes, that'll be out Monday at 7 Eastern my time.
All right.
Yeah.
So check that out. That's the Video Store Memories. Isn't that what it's called?
It's called the Physical Media
Club. That's what it is.
So, but it's pretty much memories, physical media memories and stuff like that. So
yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So see you guys there. Take care of yourselves till then.